Alright. We're here in Texas.
Texas.
It's not Texas, it's Texas. When you're in Texas, that's how you say it.
Texas. So, where do we start?
What part of Texas we in?
Oh,
Louisville.
Louisville. Yeah, Louisville, Texas.
When you're a local, you gotta say Louisville.
Louisville.
Like when you in Whiteville, you gotta say Whiteville.
Wow. Currently waiting to get loaded. Have been here for 2 hours.
2 hours.
And it's looking like we have to be at our next. We have to be at our next stop at 8 o'clock tonight.
Well, they don't make that FedEx guy wait, man. I done seen them guys come and go. Look at them in and out of there. That's what keeps them love handles down.
Yeah, well, and then we get here at 12. We have a hard time backing in, and after this, we're going to Waco, Texas, and then from Waco, Texas, we're going to North Chicago.
Uh-oh. Better have your caps on. You're going to Chicago.
Yeah.
We got any advice for these young truckers out there?
Yeah, I got some decent advice. On our last video, we were going to talk about home time, but I think we saved it for this. Especially if you got teams, it's a lot different. When you're solo, you just request a time, but always make sure that you and your team kind of coincide with what.
I tell you what about the home time. If you want to be home on the 10th, don't tell them you want to be home on the 10th, because they're going to have you home on the 10th at 11:59 at night.
He's not lying. That's happened to us a lot.
If you're lucky. If you want to be home on the 10th, tell them you want to be home on the 8th.
Yeah, and they'll get you home really late on the night.
Yeah. Don't tell them you want to be home. I'm telling you. You better put it for 2 days before. Every time. Because they will screw it up. They'll be like, oh man, we just have one more run we need you to get. And don't worry, it's only going from Kentucky to Arizona. It'll only take you a day. Don't worry.
Well, from Arizona to our house is like 1,500 miles.
Yeah, it ain't nothing out here takes you just a day.
Nothing. Takes us a day.
Trust me.
Loaded, but it's a give and take situation, especially if we were teams, because like he has a wife and I'm single as a Pringle and ready to mingle. But
see that for all you ladies out there. That was an invitation.
No, but it's a give and take. Like say he has something to do with his wife or something. But like, hey, can I want those days off? Well, okay, well then this actually happened. I think at one point it did happen. You wanted a weekend off for the
yeah.
I think it was your wife's birthday or your birthday, something.
Yeah,
like
something like that. No, it was her birthday. I remember that.
Yeah, and I said, okay, well, I had some family members moving, and I didn't want to be home for it. So I told him, I said, okay, well, we need to be out for this long so I can be home at this time. I said, okay, so it's just a give and take. For sure. And, you know.
It's hard being out here on the road all the time.
Yeah, and a lot of these companies usually do 1 week for every 7 days. I mean, 1 day for every seven days. So you're
and
out
they
for a
will
week.
keep your ass out here as long as you don't say something.
Yeah, I mean, we requested Christmas. We got Christmas off, but we obviously you want more than a day. Like Thanksgiving, we were only going to get a day and a half. And
yeah.
Who wants to get in the truck right after Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Give my burr some time to settle.
Yeah. Can't be taking a 6-pack on the road now.
No, can't do that.
So, luckily, our driver manager set a
we have an
pickup.
awesome driver manager, by the way.
Set a pickup for a few days so we could stay home a little bit longer and they wouldn't give her crap about it. So
I tell you, we could make a whole video about driver managers.
Yes.
I tell you what. y'all. Ain't your driver manager ain't gonna be a winner every time.
What if they want to see Squirrel's face?
Yeah, I'm the good looking one. Okay, take it in. Take it in.
We need to start off. This is Bizkit and Squirrel here, coming to you.
Yeah, we're trying some up and coming stuff, y'all. We're trying to get our names out there.
Okay.
So all you truckers out there, gives you something to watch, and all you junior entry level just getting into truckers, we're trying to give y'all some advice.
Yeah. Like the place we're here, we were talking about in the last video with your backing schools and stuff. This place was tight. Like,
Yeah,
it was super tight.
this is when teams really help. Because
Yeah.
I didn't just, and I tell y'all, man, you're gonna get some idiot truckers ahead of you that might slow you down. Don't be afraid to get out and help them back up into a spot if they need it. Because I tell you what, the faster you get them in and out of there sometimes is the faster you get yourself in and out of here sometimes.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to help people out.
And one thing, especially with our job and why we get paid so much, is everything's time sensitive. Absolutely everything. If you're late, we get in trouble. I mean, it's just super high sensitive, super high value stuff. And if you're on time, you will get days off while you're working, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he's right about that.
Like, if say we have to go from for now we have to go from Texas to North Chicago, which isn't it's about 1,100 miles, and it's due tomorrow. But there will be little runs like it could be 10 o'clock in the morning, and we have to go from like Pennsylvania to Ohio, but we don't have to be there till the next day. So what we do is we rush up there just to be able to park and sleep and rejuvenate from the times we weren't able to.
Yeah.
So always be on time, and if your driver manager likes you, then he or she will help you out with that.
Yeah, if you have a crappy driver manager, I mean, suck it up for just a little bit. If you just got there, give them a benefit of the doubt for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But if they're shafting you, man, definitely say something to their boss or something. Try to reason with them at first. Try to be cool and reason with them and let them know. Just be cool about it.
Yeah,
But if they keep giving you the shaft and you just don't put up with it forever, man, because this is you out here. They're not the ones out here doing this. They sit there in their cozy little office.
tell us
Yeah.
where to go.
Yeah, they sit there in their cozy little office, and if they're terrible at planning things, man, you gotta let them know. But be nice, be respectful about it.
Yeah, that's what I like. What I like about our new driver manager. She's really good about keeping us playing. Like,
What was Jerry's job title? I can't remember.
Driver resources or something.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to go over their head, because a lot of times, if you go over their head, those guys will help you. Because there might be things they don't know that's going on. You tell them, they'll fix it.
Like, I'm gonna just go ahead and out them. I mean, if you watch the videos prior to this one, you'll know what company I'm talking about. But me and him asked this company if they wanted to match what this company was giving us. Obviously, we knew this is. I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is like the highest paid team driver job that you can get.
I don't think you can make more money than we're making.
So we were like,
not unless you got your own truck or something.
We were like, okay, well, this company's offered us this. Can you match it? Obviously, we didn't think they could, because they don't do as important of loads as this company does. So
You call them high value.
high value, high risk.
Yeah.
High value, high risk loads. And we asked them, we were like, if you want to match it, we'll stay, but if not, we can't. He said he called me back that day, which was like 4 days before we ended up switching jobs and going into training for this company, which was a whole different ball game. But they called while I was at training for this one, and they were like, well, we can't match it. And I said, well, then we know where we stand. I mean,
Yeah.
So then what was it, a week, 2 weeks later? We were at that Hardee's or something. They called us again and said, "What can we do to keep drivers like you?"
Well, you can take courses on common sense.
And, I mean,
that might help you.
I could have went down a huge list of the things that they did wrong and some of the things that I would change, but I didn't because we have contacted. That's what he was saying earlier, is go above their heads. We went above our driver manager's head a lot because he was like
incompetent,
a used car salesman.
Yeah, be weary of the used car salesman. The army recruiter. That guy will tell you everything you want to hear to get what he wants. And then when you're out here, you're going to find out he's not going to deliver on half that stuff. But as long as he gets what he wants, that's important.
And I told him, I said maybe in the future if y'all can match what they are, well then they go into, they want us to they said the only way they could match is if we leased a truck from them. Is the only way that they could match what this company's paying us. Now, I'm not going to name this company because it's super secretive. There's
it's a super secret operation.
There's
it's not that it's secret, it's that we just don't want our business out there.
Yeah. But so they said we'd have to lease a truck, and he said that they were going to give us like $1.55 a mile, right? But I did the math, and so did he, and we would bring home less than what we made at our last company, and we definitely bring home less than what we're making now.
I'll tell you another thing, and this was in the back of my mind the whole time. Even if they had matched what we're offered, if they had matched it across the board, even if maybe they beat it, I don't think I would have stayed. And I'll tell you why: because of our driver manager and because of the payroll. They screwed up our payroll all the time. So you got to ask yourself, if you're jumping from one company to the next, you got to ask yourself, is it worth it to stay there and put up with their BS? Even if they match the money, you still got to think about all that other stuff that you got to deal with.
Well, another reason why even if they would have matched it, I'm not sure, is because they messed, like in the previous videos we talked about, they messed up our check so many times. I'll give it like, if you're working for this company, and I'm not saying who because I want you to go back and watch the videos, but if you're working for this company that I'm talking about, I give it maybe a month, and every week after that month, something will be wrong with your check. You'll notice you went here, but wait, I didn't get paid to go there, or you said you were going to give me money for waiting, but it's not showing, or it's taken out of my next check.
Or they'll give it to you, and then somehow it'll magically disappear from your check, from the next check,
because they tax 100% of everything.
Yeah.
But
well, let's get off this. I don't want to talk about them none too much, and I know they don't want to hear about it. I'll tell you, what I would like to talk about is all the different states you're going to go to and the pros and cons of all of them. I will tell you, if you go to California, make sure you fill up your diesel before you get across that state line.
There's a Love's right before you hit California, about 25 miles. Everyone goes to it, so it's always jam-packed, always.
Always make sure you got a full tank before you go into California. I'm telling you, I'm not lying about that.
Where is it at? Did they say it in the news that?
Yeah, the one in Coachella. Yeah, we used to go to the one in Coachella all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a nice. The truck stops in California aren't the problem. It's the diesel prices. If you don't want to pay, especially if you're a lease operator, owner operator, or whatever, you really don't want to pay California diesel prices, man. I'm telling you, they are absolutely insane.
Yeah, no way. Another thing is depending on the company you're with, normally you have this stupid little GPS you can follow, but depending on how strict and not strict your company is, if they make you follow it, then follow it. But if not, there are so many better routes, so many better, faster routes than you can take than what this thing's giving you.
I'll tell you, and if you're going east to west all the time from coast to coast, you're going to get so familiar with I-10, I-20, I-40, and I-70. Get to know those roads so well. And I'll tell you, there's 2 ways to get across Texas. I-10 is not the best way to get across Texas.
You have to drive all the way through the start point of Texas and
Yeah.
the end point of Texas.
I-10 is no lie, y'all. Over 880 miles wide of driving across Texas. If you're going to drive across Texas and you're coming from way far, if you can plan it, take I-20 every time. You're going to save yourself like 250 miles of driving.
Yeah, for sure. And one, depending on where they send you. Our company, old company used to send us from east to west, or from east to west to northeast, and there's a route, and you're probably not going to remember this, but I remember it specifically because what we talked about in the last video was a gauntlet in Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
If you take 40, if you say you have to go to New Jersey and you're in like Vegas or California, it's going to want you to take 70. This machine is going to tell you to take 70. Well, there's a way around it. You can take 40 all the way into Oklahoma City, and then from 40 to Oklahoma City, then you hit 44, and it takes you all the way up like Ohio, and you completely miss all the mountains and everything like that. Now, if you're going for views, then go for it. But if you're just trying to get through it, don't do it, because it's going to take you way longer going up and down the mountains.
Oh, well, we're sitting here waiting, y'all. That's why we're just busting guts making this video.
And I appreciate if you subscribe, because
yes,
these videos are super hard
subscribe. We're trying to get our names out there. I mean, we're not trying to be rich or nothing, or trying to be celebrities.
We're just fun and be helpful.
Yeah, we're just trying to kill time while we're on the road, man, and maybe get a few funny videos out there. But we're trying to put those names, Squirrel and Bizkit, out there if y'all want to support us. We appreciate any support we get from truckers, man, because we love truckers. Because we are truckers, of course. All right, I think these guys are. I think we're actually gonna have to say goodbye right now. So we'll talk to y'all later.